I am under control.
And I think the reason you have old cars is because that's what you dream of.
Show me cars that are more beautiful than the historic cars as a sports vehicle.
'50s and '60s were great times for motor racing.
The historics it's a much nicer group of people, as in sort of more people that you have a lot in common with.
I used to watch racing cars in the 60s, and these are the sort of cars that I used to watch, so it's wonderful really. It is very much about nostalgia, isn't it?
You feel the tension, especially in your stomach, before you get in the car, but then adrenaline takes over and you're off.
They disrespect that going and seeing a Peugeot or an Audi at Le Mans is fairly meaningless because they can't relate the car to anything at all. It's just a modern thing. I mean, it doesn't relate to anything in your mind like an old car does, the shape or anything like that. So I think it's completely different people.
It's a very nice track, it's a very demanding and big speeds, and so you need good speed and experience on the track.
Yeah, we have two cars out this weekend, the Corvette Stingray in Gentleman Drivers Race and a Ford Lotus Cortina in the saloon cars, historic saloon cars. It was a road car and it was a barn find, so it's never been restored, never had any work done on it, it's all original. All we've done is taken the interior out put a race seat in, a roll cage, a fire extinguisher, but all the rest of it and all the mechanicals are exactly the way it left the factory in '65.
About September last year, we made a decision that we would buy a big block Corvette to go racing. And under the rules in England and in Europe, we have to be 1965 at the latest. So we had to find a 65 big block Stingray. This is a genuine 1965 car, of which they made 618, and we found it on the internet, and within 2 days we bought it without even seeing it, because the quality and the specification and everything was just exactly what we wanted.
Job done, wait for the ticket.
We special racing Aston Martins, because I'm an Aston Martin collector, and so we like it very much to race the cars here, especially on the old circuits like Silverstone.
The first car that we looked after for Wolfgang was the DB214, which we have here this weekend.
In terms of racing history and all, it was the best car, the 200 project car.
That car is used mainly for long distance races, at least an hour duration, often 2 hours. We also do the 6-hour Spa race, which is very much an endurance race, and so that's how we first became to work for Wolfgang.
I'm a long-time classic car fan, and so since more or less 20 years now I collect Astons. I'm a late beginner to driving, to racing. Before it was only cruising, and so it's one comes to another.
Okay, you put the bonnet on. Okay.
Well, the car that we bought is actually the most famous Austin Healey 3000. Most people know it by its license plate, which is DD300.
It's the only Big Six Healey that was raced at Le Mans and Sebring. Ever since 1960, which is when it raced as a works entry, it's been continually raced at Le Mans, at Sebring, and at other national, international, and even club events in the UK. It's, I think, the only one which has this continuous racing history, really from new.
Everything that should be on the car was on the car, so we bought it and we did a very careful restoration, making sure that all the original parts stayed on the car, but were just straightened out, repainted, resprayed, straightened out the bodywork, and did quite an extensive bottom-up restoration of the car, which took the good part of a year. I think we were too excited about having the car and getting it actually out on the circuit and actually get it into the Le Mans Classic in 2006, which is only a biannual event. And we were also a bit too optimistic, as you mostly are, in terms of how long it would take to restore the car and get it race ready. So essentially, when we got to Le Mans, which I think was in July of last year, it really wasn't quite ready to go. Clearly making our mechanics slightly nervous and frustrated, but we were just determined to enter it and race it in Le Mans. We had some technical problems, essentially meaning that the 24 hours of Le Mans became more or less the 24 minutes, I think, of Le Mans.
With this type of race car that does, long endurance races, you're always pulling components down. You're always doing major checks. It's just pure safety. You know, we like to do good preparation back at the workshop. We don't like to have to do work while we're at the event. So that's pre-race check, plenty of it. It's very important.
We've actually very recently, indeed, actually over last weekend, finished some major works on the car in that we've totally renewed the engine, gearbox, prop shaft.
Yeah, well, it was full on last weekend. You know, we had all day Saturday, all day Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
The car was essentially out for the first time today in testing in Silverstone.
I've been a petrol head or into cars all my life, it started off with just a collection of old cars, and then I did some historic rallying and did some track days, and then the next logical thing was to do my race license.
I'm here this weekend with Roger in a Corvette, similar to the car my father was driving at Porto 2 weekends ago.
I'm a lot older than Joe, but I did my race license at Silverstone on a week-long course.
And Roger and I stayed in the same bed and breakfast and got on like a house on fire. And then when Roger, bought a historic car, he asked me to drive with him.
I've always been involved in racing, not so much driving. I've had racing teams. I've always been involved with cars. Mainly I was involved with a lot of modern racing, but I always had a great love for old cars.
But it's also one of the reasons I drive with David, because he is much more, let's say, in than I was, and I learned a lot, and we discussed after every racing what we are doing, what I'm doing wrong, how are the lines I have to go, and all the stuff.
What gear are you coming through there?
Fourth, before changing, but I keep going and change after the king, because I don't like to change during the king.
No,
normally
you're probably better just going into fourth.
Helps me a lot, and I think I progressed a little bit the last 5 years since we are together. We also have a lot of fun on the weekends, but we should never to miss anymore.
I think we were talking about it last night, how long we know each other. It's about 18 years. Between us have produced 5 children in the last 9 years or 10 years. So
we had a bit of spare time.
Exactly. Christian bought the motorhome to encourage them to come. They've never been, but at least we have a very good motorhome. So.
Roger and I have driven 3 or 4 times this year in various cars, but this is the first time I've been allowed out in the Corvette, so it's going to be an interesting experience. The first time I drove the Corvette was actually last weekend, back in Porto, and I drove it, 50 yards back to the pits, so it's really going to be a baptism of fire.
I mean, the Corvette's got so much torque, so you may find that, well, you'll be third and fourth probably most of the time.
This is a completely fresh experience to me. Not so much nervous, I just think, you take your time with these things, bed yourself in. I generally don't get too nervous about things. I'm obviously going to be cautious first time out and what have you, but I wouldn't say I'm nervous.
Joe's a safe pair of hands, I think. He's young, but he's mature and mechanically sympathetic. He's not hard on the car, and I trust him.
Probably the biggest race in historic racing is the Spa 6 Hours, which we've won once. We've come second and third, and, we could have probably won it 3 times nearly. We should have won it the first time, but Wolfgang, I can't imagine ever thought he was going to win the Spa 6 Hours. So for him and for me as well, that was an enormous thing. Like anything you compete in, it's like, not like the Olympics, but in old car racing, it's a very, very prestigious race to win.
We have sort of an unwritten rule that you bend that you mend it. So if one of us does something stupid and does drive the car into a wall, then the cost of the repair should be paid by that person.
It is a dangerous sport, but David makes sure that the car is as safe as it can be. And some common sense helps, so far, to avoid us having any serious accidents.
We're not driving to win the race. Even if we try to, we wouldn't, because they're more powerful and cars out there are better drivers. So he knows that we're not going to do stupid things.
I've only tried to put this car on fire twice, so that's Oh, I won't keep it on that.
Don't forget this window doesn't slide. It's only this one.
Although it's a modern track now, it's very good for our old cars who don't want sharp corners. You don't want chicanes, you don't want bends that are more than 90 degrees. Our cars must flow. They were built for flowing tracks, and modern tracks don't have that anymore. Horrible noise. This sounds much better.
It's very, very difficult to drive on the limit. You know, there's a lot of weight to go through the corner, and I don't have the confidence because you've got these smaller cars that you're all over on the straights. Yeah. And sometimes you think, well, shall I pass him, or is he just going to be all over me again in the corners?
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
it's tricky to know, you know, because I don't want to damage the car.
The car was incredibly grippy, and I think we were positively flying across the track, certainly more than we have ever done before. The engine was phenomenal. The gearbox, which is new as well, was fantastic, and had a lot of fun.
Qualifying was very, very good. The car went out fantastic. Only me was not good enough because I've been here so far since 3 years anymore. So I need more lap time. Unfortunately, it's just a short session.
Okay. Perfect.
Do you get back into second or not?
No, only the bottom. Whichever one.
Get the seat in the right place.
Felt good. I mean, the car was positively flying compared to yesterday when it was incredibly wet and very slippery. Today with this weather, it was fantastic grip, so I was just going full out through all the corners and I was very, very, very pleased. Going sideways that fast, with that much grip, with such a great engine, it was fantastic. I have an idea about relative time. Chris Smithies, who is a very experienced Healy driver, apparently was a second and a half faster than I was, which I think is a pretty good achievement given that the car is relatively new and he is super experienced. So, and moreover, I made one or two little enthusiastic mistakes by going a bit too fast in one or two corners, which meant I had to sort of recover from the sandpit and whatever, but no, it was very much fun.
Car's fantastic. David is out now. He's the first lap out. He was here yesterday with another car. He did a good time, so we sure we have a good race. No problem.
But you don't know anything about the times yet?
Oh yes, for sure.
Yeah, and that's what you're not so happy about?
The best time till now is 13.
Okay.
To 13. Just good time. I think we can arrive around 11, 10.
Okay. All right, great.
So I have to do more walk later then before I arrive, because David is much quicker today than I.
I live in Moscow, so I come in for these events, you know, like I flew in last night, or qualified today, race Saturday and Sunday, and fly back on Sunday night. So when I come, I want to get the maximum bang for the buck, if you like, and maximum time in the seat. This weekend they said you must have two drivers, so it was a good opportunity to get Joe out of the car before Spa.
Okay.
different, but good fun. I mean, it'll take a bit of getting used to, but you know, it's great fun, and I think given a few more laps.
Yeah, I saw you going sideways through the corner there, very nicely, very elegant.
Yeah, we've driven here a couple of times. It's going to take a bit of time to get used to the car because new engine, new gearbox. It's just a new experience, but it's much better with the new, especially the new gearbox. It's much easier to find the gears, so you get more confidence in the car.
I was on a real flyer of the lap, and you know, the car was moving around all over the place. And I came out through the comping. It's got it really sideways, just couldn't quite catch it. Went around. I looked around, I kept the engine running, looked around, just dumped the clutch, spun it back around and took off. Bugger off.
Back left-hand wheel. Yeah, probably pays to do at least half the green flag lap with the left foot on the...
With running with the foot on the brake?
Yeah, but accelerator and brake at the same time.
Like down in the fast parts of the course?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
It doesn't matter?
Do about half a lap like that and then give it some stomps before you cut up to the line.
Okay.
Yeah, it's beginning to lay some material onto the disc.
Right.
Which is what it needs to do first.
Joe wants to practice driver changes.
Right.
Did you hear that?
No.
He said that we can get out, he can get input if I can get output.
Third row of the grid then?
Yeah.
Inside third row.
Fourth. Go to that.
Okay, so what is it? What are these? What's on pole then?
That's a Cobra.
That's a Cobra, is it?
Yeah.
That's an E-type.
E-type.
E-type, yeah. What's that?
Charles England. Chris Charles. Another Cobra. Yeah.
Right. I mean,
There's all
that's...
E-types and Cobras.
It's quite a respectable time, really, isn't it?
You just call me in as close as you can for the driver change.
Yeah.
Okay?
Thank you. No problem.
This year, we were at Le Mans, the race before the 24 hours, which was great. Although I spun, and then in the end the engine gave up the ghost, which has resulted in a frantic last 4 weeks where David had to put a new engine in and a gearbox. And here we are, and let's see if we can finish the race. And my objective is to finish, to get to know the car better, and get out of the car with a big smile on my face.
There's always a bit of healthy tension, followed by immense feeling of fatigue. So I'll take my helmet off again, it's too warm. Running late. It's too hot for this thing. Once you then sit in the car and it all starts, then it really is adrenaline and excitement, and there's certainly no nervousness, it's just fun. And yeah, it's a very different feeling.
The oil temperature is on 50.
Yeah, it'll go. You could run it now. I suppose you've got to go drive over to the grid and wait there, haven't you? So just leave it running around there. As long as the water doesn't go above 90, then it'll be okay. You'll soon get temperature in after a few laps.
The idea of doing historic racing is to enjoy yourself. If you want to be very, very cutthroat and competitive, then just go and drive a modern car.
There's this thing called red mist, right? Which is, you know, when you become so intense and you just want to win at all costs.
I like the part where there's cars ahead of me, but not too far, so I have very clear targets to try and overtake. Hopefully we will become more competitive, but we were always sort of having our own small race in the back of the grid with the less powerful cars, and I think that's a lot of fun.
Obviously the cars around you, you're always sort of focused on overtaking the guy in front. sometimes you may be way down the pack in 5th or 6th or 10th or whatever place, but having a personal battle with that guy, and maybe it goes on for half of a race, it's an amazing, amazing feeling.
It's what competitiveness is, it progresses. Whether it's cars or bikes or anything, people progress. And this, you know, it gets faster and more competitive every year. It's like the Spa 6 Hours now is really, you know, there's a lot of people, as there always is, crazy to win it. I think that's one of the good things about it, really. Otherwise, if you're not, you know, you need that. You know, I mean, I think Wolfgang needs that. I need that. You know, you need to push people as well.
Of course, I want to be near the front of the pack if I can, but it's all to do with the different, you know, speeds of the cars, and maybe sometimes it's nice to be out and be the fastest Corvette, because you know you're not going to be the fastest car in the race, because maybe a well-developed Cobra or some other cars are going to be much, much quicker. So it's more of a sort of a personal competitiveness, trying to get my lap times down, and of course, if that means getting up near the front of the pack, that's a big benefit.
Ik doe die wel, jij doet die andere, jij doet die andere. Stoel goed, spiegel? Ja. Spiegel? Doe dat als je rijdt maar. Temperature about 75, 80. Oil pressure as usual, 55. Everything feels okay. It feels like it's slightly less torquey coming out of corners than it was yesterday. There may be ambient, I don't know. But, certainly I have to rev it a bit more than I used to yesterday, and I even went back to second gear because it's fluttering a little bit through the complex there. But it was fun. We lapped a couple of cars, and it was a good little fight against all of the Porsches, so not bad. Cheers, mate. It's a pretty close race between me and about 3 Porsches, and I'm happy to say that at least I overtook one of them and you know, lapped a few of the slower cars before I got in. And overall the car was, as it was yesterday, brilliant, so I had a great time. No problems, no mistakes. It really went swimmingly well, so it was a thoroughly enjoyable day so far. I think more or less we were, when I came in, more or less in the same position as where I started. I think I've overtaken 1 or 2 cars, but 1 or 2 have overtaken me. I saw the time spot that my mechanics hung out, and I think the fastest was 2:19, which compares to 2:20 yesterday in qualifying. So consistent and yeah, good.
Goes so. I was not quick enough. So as I told you, I'm not experienced enough for this track, and it's really heavy demanding. And so I did everything what I could. Need more practice. So let's see how it's going on the race. So we are in 12th position, I guess.
Okay, so you'll now have to leave it up to David.
Yes, he is overtaking. He is quicker than I am, so the car's okay. Let's see how it's going.
Undrivable. It's like that.
Really?
Is there anything on the front?
The right front tire was punctured, and the brakes are quite gone now.
We've got another 8 minutes.
Okay, I'll go.
Yeah,
okay,
well,
sit in.
For the brake? Oh, it's all over.
Also, the surface is different than yesterday.
Yeah, it's a bit slippery, yeah.
Because on the car, on the the last lap it was on 9th position. Now race is over.
Yeah, but I'm
bad luck.
you guys.
Bad luck. The second puncture in a lot of years. So it's happened.
Okay.
Eventually,
Ja, das weiß auch nie jemand.
Okay, so nothing to do today. Just arrive for the big points. Okay. But he is also unhappy with the car. He told me the car is not as yesterday, it's different. Yesterday the car was better.
Yes.
So better handling.
Yeah. Well, maybe we shouldn't have taken those dampers down a bit, but it's only a small. But you try something when it's not quite right.
It makes sense to try.
To try,
yeah.
Yeah.
Just to try.
Yes.
Okay. So
And the
next
brake,
time
were the brakes okay when you were in it, or they?
So. Especially on the brakes here, on the straight here.
Yes.
It's not so good.
twisted. This one. At a circuit like this, we need a longer gearbox, a longer diff. Not everybody stops this. No? Is that the black one? He's running 212s. About 18th place or something. We started 30th, so yeah, it's good. It's going great. How'd you change it? A bit slow. I forgot to take the wheel off. Couldn't figure out why. Couldn't get my legs out.
That was fun. That was good fun. It's fantastic. Well, we had a finish. You know, that was my. Towards the end, it was like, where's the bloody checkered flag? Because I wanted to, I wanted to bring the car home. Yeah. And it's a fantastic car. It's so much fun. Yeah. It's, you slide out. It's great. It's fantastic.
First finish with this car, so that was our objective. We got it, and super pleased. So.
What were you doing? You were doing 17s?
No, I did a 215.
You 15. I was well off that. What did I do? 20.
221 or something.
I went quicker in qualifying.
You had one in the teams, I think.
Did I?
Yeah, but your last few laps dropped off.
Yeah. There was a Morgan, Red Morgan, I think, Adrian Vandercroft's car, and all over him on the straight. And then he nipped in front of you in the corners, and I thought, well, I'd rather just hang back and save the car.
Yeah, I had one or two big sideways moments under braking as well.
And you had one, yeah.
Yeah, one spin. Exactly the same place. How stupid is that, right? You'd think you'd learn from the first one. I mean, and the trouble is, you really feel like you can carry a lot more speed through there until you push, and then when you push, it just breaks and breaks and breaks. And I thought, oh, I've got it. Oh no, I haven't.
When I went out, then after about one lap, the car was really terrible. I mean, the handling of the car, and it had a puncture. And I didn't realise, and the trouble is when you have a puncture, it goes down slightly on one side, then it affects all the braking and everything. And then in the end, I thought I should come in because it was just undrivable. It only had 7 pounds in the tyre. It was too late then, but I mean, at least it was okay, and we finished, so I mean, we've never not finished a race, which is fantastic, really.
Both the mechanics worked Saturday and Sunday to get the engine in and the gearbox in and the prop shaft, so they really deserve a lot of praise for making this possible.
We're pleasantly pleased. It's been a bit of a learning curve for us over the last 18 months, but now with the new engine and the new gearbox, which is the sort of icing on the cake, and so now we have a baseline to work from. So this weekend is really a shakedown for us. As I say, we're nowhere near maximum revs. The results will come. The car's got great potential, so we're pleased it's all gone according to plan.
Given that we've had so little time with the car, and it really hasn't run a lot in sort of big competitions or serious races so far. It was just great that it ran so well.
No, I learned a lot today in terms of how to race one. So it was a good experience, and you know, this weekend was a lot more successful than Porto.
I'm impressed. He drove very sensibly. Very mature drive, I think. Roger's obviously very used to the car. And Joe's job, I think, was just to learn the circuit, learn the car. Brought the car home, 17th place. You can't ask any more than that.
I just think he did a great job today. He brought it back, finished the race, didn't spin it like the owner did, didn't bend it, and, you know, was putting in some good times. And I think by the time we get to Spa, he will have had more time in the car and he'll be feeling more comfortable with it. I think he'll be on the pace.
Would be the first time we've gone.
That'd be fantastic. Yeah.
Be interesting.
Be really good. Yeah. I'll wave to Joe in the mirror.
So if they were out there, it'd be great. And I think Joe's got all the makings of being quicker than his father for sure. So he's younger. He should be, right?
Mum would bet on him because I'm boring, and you know, the eldest son. That'd be a far better bet than me.